you need to demonstrate that it is being fixed or that it was never quite that bad to begin with. And the only way you can do that is through communications. In China, one of the main ways is the traditional press. But even more important these days is social media. And you cannot afford to ignore social media. But if you're going to do social media, you also need to do that the right way. The wrong way is hiring a room full of people in a PR agency who sit at computers, seeding chat rooms and things like the Chinese equivalent of Twitter, Weibo, with comments. Because if you get caught doing that, that is going to impact your reputation far worse. But what you have to do is engage the audience that's important to you in a two-way conversation with you, so that you will get some criticism and you're going to have to take that on the chin, but then you will hopefully get people who've had a positive experience with your organization also coming in and then starting to support the things you're saying. And it's when you've got those dialogues happening between your stakeholders, not just you, that social media can really have a positive effect for you. Well, it does, and it does until you are caught. How many of you have heard of the Wal-Mart Edelman social media scandal? Okay, Wal-Mart had a crisis. This is in America, right? And social media in China has caught up with America and maybe about to pass it, right? But in the United States, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago, Walmart had a crisis, and the crisis was that a lot of its workers, who we know are paid low wages, forced to work long hours, not always in the best conditions, were complaining about this. And Walmart was apparently doing some things to address it. It hired a PR firm, my former employer, Edelman PR, to help them to deal with this. So Edelman came up with this really brilliant strategy, right? And I'm saying this sarcastically. Right? The strategy was, we will get 2 journalists to drive around America in a camper van and stay every night in a Walmart car park, and they will go into the Walmart every day and they'll talk to the staff and they will blog about it. Right? And it was working for a little while. You know, I'm at the Walmart in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I just met Mary Jo, and she's the happiest little worker I've ever met, and they were blogging all this stuff. But interestingly, the netizens who were reading the stuff started to say, why would you be doing this? And started to investigate it. It turned out that the couple traveling around America in a camper van were not married, were possibly not even talking to each other. They were portraying themselves as a couple. And then it was found out they were actually freelance journalists available for hire, that their paychecks were coming from Edelman. And then it became a much bigger crisis for both Walmart and Edelman, to the extent that the head of Edelman, Richard Edelman, had to come out and give a public apology about it. So in China, does this sort of thing happen? It's starting to happen that the people doing these types of things are getting caught out. You've probably heard about the 50 centers, right? The Wu Jiao people, they get on the internet, they're paid 50 cents by the Chinese government to get on the internet to blog about things that are important to the Chinese government. So if there's an issue out there the Chinese government's not happy with, the strategies will drown them out. These are people from Tsinghua, Beida, top universities in China, the brains of the country, all blogging away. If you get onto the Wall Street Journal and you look at a story critical of China, go to the comments section. You can see these guys blogging there and some of the arguments they're putting up against those stories. What started to happen is a number of those people who were getting the 50 mao for blogging on particular issues have been coming out and saying, I was only doing it for the money, I don't really believe what I was saying. So you start to lose that credibility. So if you hire a PR firm who's got a room, and I've seen the PR firms, I was in one in Shanghai a few weeks ago, a room probably twice as big as this, filled with people. What are they all doing? They're seeding internet chat rooms for clients. That's all they're doing all day. You just need one of them to be leaving unhappy with their boss and saying, well, I was getting paid to say that, I didn't really believe it, it was just a bit of spin, and then your reputation is damaged. So I'm not sure it's going to work indefinitely. It may be working now, it may work for a little while, but it won't work indefinitely. And that's what I mean by actually engaging the stakeholders. So,
That's
for
right.
example, if you've had students go to the UK and they've come back, they had a good experience, they're involved in social media, they're the best communicators you've got.
Yeah.
Get them online saying, I had a great time, I learned some great stuff, the university was good, etc. So for Australia, same thing. You need those groups talking to each other